Focus on Abilities is brought to you by Tier Memorial Herman, redefining rehabilitation, removing barriers, re-enabling independence, and the ILRU Southwest ADA Center, promoting compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Welcome to Focus on Abilities, a program about issues affecting the lives of people with disabilities. I'm Lex Frieden. I'll be your host for today's program. I'm professor at the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston, and I direct the Independent Living Research Utilization Program at Tier Memorial Herman. Today we have a special episode for you. We're going to be on location at sites all over the city celebrating the ReelAbilities Film Festival. ReelAbilities is all about motion pictures and films that are made to celebrate the lives of people with disabilities, and some of these films are actually produced by people with disabilities. In addition to the films, there are art exhibits that involve art that was created by people with disabilities, and you'll be able to see what's going on in the ReelAbilities Festival if you stay tuned to this program. Please do. We'll be back on location in Houston with ReelAbilities. We're here today at the ReelAbilities Film Festival, and one of the stars of the show is a man named Henry O. Henry, your name is Enrique Oliu, correct?
Correct.
And Henry, you're a celebrity here. Your show, Henry O, is a sellout at the theater, and everybody's here to see about you, but we're so glad to have you here in person. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for letting me be on your television show. And anything I can help anyone to go forward is always a good thing.
So Henry, the program's all about your work in professional sports. You're an announcer, and the promo says that you can tell the difference between a fastball and a curveball just by hearing the sound in the catcher's mitt. Is that actually true?
That's correct.
La pifia al tercera, la recupera el tiro a primera y es quieto. Error, Enrique Oliu para Melvin Mora.
What do you hear differently with a curveball and a fastball?
At the pop of the glove. And a lot of times the ball will go into the dirt. A curveball will go into the dirt.
So you are the color announcer for Spanish language radio, Tampa Bay professional baseball team games, right?
Yes, the Tampa Bay Rays.
And Tampa Bay hasn't gone to the series in a few years. Do you expect them too soon?
I think so. I think we have a good team this year. We signed Loney back. We got David Price, and as long as we have your fellow native, Mr. Andrew Friedman, heading the band, as we would say, directing and arranging the band and arranging the pieces, I think we have a chance.
Yeah, and your role as an announcer, you travel with the team, or you just do the home games?
We do the home games from the stadium, and then we go into our booth at the stadium to do the away games. And what we do is call up our people up in Yankee Stadium, our English guys, and get the sound from there, the fan sound from there, to come down into our booth.
So you're actually more or less rebroadcasting the game from your booth with the imported sound from wherever the team is traveling.
Correct. We're doing the old recreation.
Yeah. So Henry, you've been doing this for how many years?
15 years, since the first day of the race.
And you're blind?
Yes, I guess you can say that I am.
Are people surprised when they realize that the broadcaster on the radio is a blind announcer?
Yeah, but not just that. The other day we went to our manager's, we have like a Mardi Gras, a little baby Mardi Gras, I call it, Gasparilla we call it, but it's like a Mardi Gras. We went to his house, and the guy that was doing the shuttle from where he asked you to park to his house took me back to the parking lot. And I'm just saying this because it's not just in sports. And I'm curious about where he's traveling, because all the streets are blocked, so he has to take me around. And finally, I guess he got a little frustrated that I was asking him where he went. And he pulls out his phone with his GPS and pulls it up in front of me and says, here, sir, if you want to know where we are, here's where we are. And I was going to have to tell him, I said, sir, I can't see, unfortunately. So he was very surprised that here I was riding in his car, and and I couldn't see. He didn't even know that I couldn't see. And same thing, people, you get listeners that finally see you on the radio and said, "What? How do you know all this stuff? And you're blind?"
Well, Henry, that you were born unable to see, is that correct?
Correct.
And went to a segregated, specialized school. Years ago, blind people used to be taught in schools, especially for the blind. Now, education is integrated. What do you feel about these changes?
I have mixed feelings on that. You can't really be upset with people being integrated. I got lucky that they sent us on a pilot program from the blind school out to the regular high school because they thought we could go further than a lot of the blind kids that were there. But I have mixed feelings. It's great to be integrated. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a wonderful thing. You want to be part of a real life. You know, you're going to come out of the shadows into the seeing life. But in a sense, I feel bad because the one thing that I got at the blind school that you're not going to get at the regular public school is to have bonding, friendships that last the last time. And not just that. To me, it was so much more important to play all the sports. We played all the sports. Football, we swam, we ran track, we did all this because there were, sure, but that's it, but the rules were the same. And see, those are the things that's taken me far. The fact that I bonded with people and the fact that I got to play my sports. I was a wrestler, but we also did intramural football, kind of, just sandlot football, where we would, the partially sighted kids would play receiver, quarterback, and us totally blind kids would play on either side of the line. But it was pretty much the same football, except the only difference was that you had to holler when you had the ball. So I got a chance to play sports, which a lot of kids that are mainstream don't get that chance. When we really got a chance to play, and for us, we used to go travel around, like as I said, I was a wrestler. We go around the regular public schools, around, Jacksonville, like Fernandina Beach, Bishop Kenny, Bowles. So I got a chance to really interact with people, and you don't get that in mainstream.
So, but there are now programs where kids are after-school programs where kids are given the opportunity to do that.
But it's not the same. I don't think it's the same where there were no rules. You just made up your rules. It was more like a regular sandlot. And for me, that was a wrestler. I could bond with the deaf kids that also went to my school. And as I said, go around and participate against sighted schools, against not other blind kids, but sighted kids that wrestled.
Right. There must be changes that have occurred in society that have been of great benefit to you, though.
Are you kidding me? The computer, the phone. I was showing somebody my iPhone. So when I went to college, I carried around my Smith Corona, and somebody had to proofread your stuff because the machine wouldn't read. It wasn't reading software then. Right. Now I have my computer that has JAWS in it, which talks. I have my phone that has voiceover from Apple. I can use my phone like any other sighted person. I mean, the technology, what was it I saw on Sunday morning the other day, about 3 weeks ago? Smart cars now. So, but just the fact the computer has probably been the biggest change in my lifetime, because therefore I can, write and don't have to depend as much on anybody reading.
So, Henry, you're the featured star in this program that is going around the country. Henry O, motion picture people are here to see the picture in ReelAbilities, and you're here to talk about your life in reality. Have you actually seen the program that you're in?
Not really. I mean, I know because it was filmed. The guy tells you to go back and forth and stand here and stand there, but I've never seen it. I mean, I asked my wife, when they'll hear some talking or something, what's the pictures that go with that?
Right. So the benefit of that, though, is it brings people into your life, and they get a glimpse of how you are living, and then because you're here in person, they're able to interact with you.
And that's the big thing about this film. It stretches out the platform, and it gives me a platform to speak to people and shed light on trails. And that's the worthwhile about this film, that it actually gives you a bigger platform to go and talk to people.
So I want anybody who's watching the program now to be sure and Google Henry O. You can find the trailer, you can watch it, you get an idea, and you can dial up and download that motion picture from a vendor. So Henry, thanks a lot for being on the show today.
Thank you very much again. It's been a wonderful thing to hang out with you, and it's very interesting things to deal with this film. The reaction from the kids, that really makes it worthwhile.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
You too.
Hi, I'm Lex Frieden, your host. We're here at ReelAbilities, And today we're on location at the Jewish Community Services on South Braeswood in Houston. I'm glad to have with us Lauren Melziner. Lauren,
Yes.
you are the coordinator for this ReelAbilities program?
Yes, so I am the events coordinator for Jewish Family Service. We are a 100-year-old social service agency here in Houston. We help people.
Lauren, the schedule extends over 2 weeks, that these films and other exhibits are being conducted in Houston.
Yes.
Here, and it must be a challenging process.
It's about an 8-month process. We get the films, we get narratives and documentaries from all over the world, and the films are made by or they're about people with different disabilities across the spectrum. We also have art exhibits throughout the city. We have Rick Guidotti, who's a former fashion photographer.
It's always been about beauty for me, so it was always, but as a fashion photographer, I was always told who was beautiful. I worked with like Cindy and Claudia and was always told this is the model of the moment, that's who I would photograph. You know, but as an artist, I saw beauty not just on covers of magazines. I see beauty everywhere.
We spotted a young woman in New York City who has albinism. And
she had white hair, pale skin, never included in the beauty standard. She was so gorgeous, yet I'd never met a model like this.
And he was taken away by her beauty and started taking photographs of individuals with genetic differences.
When I went to research this in medical textbooks, I didn't see photographs of this gorgeous kid waiting for the bus. I saw photographs of people in their underwear with black bars across their eyes in doctor's offices up against walls. I saw images of sickness, of disease, of despair. You shine a light on somebody and they kind of feel like, oh, we're different, and they're kind of little, you kind of put a light on them and they're like amazing. It just keeps growing, and it's about self-esteem, and everything is kind of based on the motto, change how you see how you change. So photographing the kids in this community and the families here was so important because it's a way that we don't see difference. We see around that difference to what we all share, which of course is our humanity. It's seeing these kids, seeing love, seeing the beauty in there, and then seeing beyond that beauty and diversity, kind of steadying your gaze long enough so you're forced to look, and you're like, and then you see it, and it just washes over you, and you're enlightened, and you stay enlightened, and you see beauty, and you start seeing it everywhere, and it's just overwhelming. I heard about a film festival called the ReelAbilities Film Festival. And it's a film festival for, about, and by people with disabilities. And it was, but not featured as like, oh, aren't they, oh, look, oh, they can make a movie. And these are like heavy-duty, powerful films and major critical reviews and gorgeous stuff. So I just thought how amazing to be able to be part of this community. And I started working with the New York ReelAbilities, and then they brought it here to Houston. And I was just so thrilled that I was invited to be part of it. If you'd like to be involved with Positive Exposure, you just check out our website, which is positiveexposure.org, and you can send me or my team a link or an email, and we'll respond. But you have some ideas of how Positive Exposure, would you like to invite it to your own community, or you'd like to be part of this whole human movement to see beauty and humanity and not difference. But it really is about, and you want to find out other ways that you can be part of this movement to celebrate the richness and beauty of human diversity. Give us an email.
Here at the Jewish Community Center in the Joe Frank Theater, we also have artists who work at Jewish Family Service with a company called Celebration Company. They are adults with disabilities, and they create this artwork and they put it on products to sell. And this is a job for them. They make money and they create products.
Well, I've talked to some of them and they really enjoy it.
Yes,
it's not just a job, it's a love.
It's a love, and if one were to walk around the gallery, you would read a lot of their bios, and they express why art is so important to them and how they're able to, they might not necessarily be able to express it in words, but they're able to express it through their artwork.
We're glad to be here today with Ian Spindler. First name Alexander, but everybody calls you Ian, right?
Yeah.
Ian, you're one of the artists who are featured in the program, and your art is available for anybody to see and I suppose to purchase.
Correct.
How many works of art have you done that they have sold?
Well, most recently I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 pieces of artwork.
You choose your own colors
Yeah, correct.
and make your own designs?
Yep, that's correct.
Is that what makes it interesting for you?
Yeah.
And your favorite thing about the colors is matching them or finding new combinations, or what attracts you?
Finding new combinations.
What are your favorite colors?
My favorite colors are red, strawberry, and gold. Yellow especially because it makes a great background color.
Do you enjoy it when people come and look at your art in the exhibit?
Oh yeah, I really like it when they do it. They really admire it. Most recently, my father bought a piece.
Oh, well, your father bought one of your art pieces. That must have given you a lot of joy to know that you could please him and make him proud.
Yes, it brings me so much pleasure.
Ian, the art that's here now, will you add to it? Will you have another picture to include in next year's exhibit?
Yeah, I think I will do it. And I think it's a good idea to do it.
Ian, it's been a pleasure meeting you and visiting with you about your art. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate what you do and the gifts that you have, expressing those, sharing them with others.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
We're here today with Linda Lopin. Linda, you work for the Celebration Company and you're an artist.
Yeah, I guess you can call me that.
Linda, we're here today looking at some of your art, and you're also a great painter.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend a week painting?
Several weeks. For example, one of the paintings that I did, Joyful New Year, I used a projector, or it looks like a projector, and then I used oil crayon to highlight it. And it was one of my favorite pieces.
What motivates your work as an artist?
I enjoy doing the paintings with shapes.
And it makes you feel.
And it makes me feel good.
And when other people appreciate what you've done.
Oh yeah.
I suppose that adds to the joyful feeling.
Oh yes.
A lot of the art that you do is sold through the Celebration Company, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
People can purchase that art.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the works that you've done have been included in those sales.
And I kind of like it when I see my name on the edge of the painting, saying that this one's mine.
Linda, if you were speaking to somebody else in the community who found challenges in their lives, what would you recommend that they do with their time?
Volunteer.
Appreciate that. Nice meeting you today, and enjoy the folks who are here to see all of your art. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What we want the community and the, people here in Houston to know is that just because someone has a quote-unquote disability doesn't mean that they aren't able to do things. They're able to do things differently. And we want them to be inclusive and include their coworkers, their friends, their family members, a stranger on the streets, and understand that they're people. They have human feelings. They're able to do things that I can do on a regular basis. And we're really trying to reach out to the community that don't have disabilities, and for them to open their eyes to people's true abilities.
In addition to that, you want the community to be involved.
Absolutely.
You welcome sponsors, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Most importantly, when the ReelAbilities films are showing, you want people to attend.
Absolutely.
You can find out about that on the web. You can go to the newspaper. There are many opportunities to get information
Absolutely.
about ReelAbilities. Lauren, thank you very much for being our guest today. Welcome to Focus on Abilities. I'm Lex Frieden, your host, and we're here today at ReelAbilities. We're going to interview one of the stars of one of the shows that are going to be featured in the ReelAbilities Film Festival, and that is a basketball player from El Paso, Texas. Mitchell, you regard yourself as a basketball star now that you've made the big screen?
Yes, sir.
What is your claim to fame? What's the one thing that you could say describes your basketball expertise?
When I made that shot, we have the Coronado Crazies, and they're our students, and they rushed the court, and it was a champion moment for me, for Coronado.
Did anybody call that the shot heard round the world?
No.
It's heard around the world because you can look it up. Anybody can Google that shot and find it online everywhere. And it's a beautiful shot. It's an example that a lot of pros could follow there.
Yes, sir.
Put it right through. I saw it swish.
Yeah.
Did you call backboard? Because you didn't hit the backboard.
No, I just sprinted back on defense. That's what my coach taught me, and the players didn't listen to him, and I listened to him.
Now, your job before that night was manager, right? You were the team manager?
Yes, sir.
I did that when I was in high school. It involves a lot of towel washing, water carrying, and so on. How many years did you do that job?
3 years.
And at some point, the coach said to you, "We're going to suit you up."
Yes, sir.
Did you have the uniform already fitted and everything?
No, during our shoot around, we have a huddle, and he said, today we have a special needs, and my eyes was glowing, and I had number 24 jersey, and it was awesome that I played that game.
So it was cool that they gave you the jersey in the first place and put you in, right?
Yes, sir.
Were you surprised he actually put you in the game? I mean, you thought you were going to sit on a bench like a lot of guys do.
He was planning it before the season even started, and my mom and dad didn't think I should play me because it was a rivalry game, and I would understand if I didn't play, but he got me an opportunity to play.
Fantastic. So when they put you in, your team was ahead. Yeah, I think you had a 10-point lead on the other team at that time, right?
Yes, sir.
And the guys passed the ball around, gave you the opportunity to shoot. You didn't make the first one, did you?
No.
How many did you miss?
Like 4.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And Jonathan Montañez, who passed me the ball, it was like almost end of the game, and he said, Mitchell. My back was to him, and the cheerleaders were saying my name too, and after that I made the basket and went back to defense, and the students were going crazy.
Jonathan, did you know Jonathan before that game?
Not that game, but I did UTEP basketball camps, and he knew me there.
So Jonathan was a player for the other team, and the other team was really trying to get back in the game. Jonathan saw you playing defense down on his end of the court, got your attention, passed you the ball. You knew what to do with it then, right?
Yes, sir.
Put it right in, swoosh.
Yes, sir.
And that was the last second of the game, too.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
Yes, sir.
So you were on the basketball team. At that time, you would have been, what, a junior?
I was a junior.
And Mitchell, as a sophomore, came in, applied to be the manager of the team. And coach told him what his job was. He showed up in the locker room, and you said, "Who is this guy?"
Yep. So I went, and I think I had introduced myself, and from that day forward, I knew he loved basketball, I loved basketball, and that made us, two really good friends from there.
Now tell me, you were just trying to make sure your towels got good and clean and real warm when you came off the court, right?
No, when I was on the bench, Mitchell and I, sat together, and so he kept me company, and he, helped me work through my season.
Now your team, Coronado, was in the state championship game that year, right?
Well, we were in the district championship. The first time, I think, in 18 years that we were in the district championship, so it was very timely. My senior year, we got there.
Okay. Yeah. And Mitchell was the manager. He stayed with the team. You continued to introduce new guys to him and kind of promote him among the other players?
Yeah. I think the team isn't just made up of the 5 players playing on the court. It's from all 12 guys practicing to the assistant coaches and the coaches to the fans to the administration to managers and trainers. I mean, everybody makes the team. So you got to make sure that, if you want to win, you're going to have to win together. We make a joke and they call me Marcus. I'm one of Mitchell's brothers, so I'm honored. I really am.
George, what do you feel like Mitchell's shot did to the community that you're a part of, to your school, Coronado, to the fans that were in the stadium at that time? What did it mean?
I think what it meant was, in sports, the most important thing is the final score, usually, the win. And that's what determines who wins the game. And what John did, what Coach Morales did, what Mitchell did, showed that the final score isn't always the most important thing that happens in the event. And I think that was made very clear, the rivalry put aside, the selfless acts by, many people that were a part of it. And from there, it just showed that everybody does have something to offer. And there's something that brings us together. And for this, it was basketball.
So let me ask you a question. If you'd have been on the other team, on John's team,
Okay.
and let's put you in John's place. You're standing there, your team needs to score, and you throw the ball to this guy from Coronado. What would have happened?
My hat goes off to John, because I know playing basketball, we practice a whole year. We practice a full week for one game. I mean, you're not thinking when you're in the game. It's so fast, and you're playing on instinct and impulse. It's a rivalry. It's your senior year, the last minute. I mean, everything's going into it. And John has the awareness to put himself and the team aside and say, no, this is for Mitchell. And that's the most important thing right now, not the points. And that's really why, my hat goes off to him.
So this whole episode was a series of lessons.
It was.
Not just a lesson for Mitchell to show that he can get in the game and score, but also a lesson for others about how you can give something up to get something greater.
Yeah, I don't think John knew that, or Mitchell knew, or Coach Morales knew that it would turn to be this big. It's a simple act of kindness, and we love. I mean, I love it. It's great to see somebody be selfless and do something, kind. And then so it grew to being this big and this great, and it's phenomenal to see what happened, what came from it. Yeah.
All right, George, it's a pleasure meeting you. Thanks
Likewise.
so much for everything you do. Good luck in school. Mitchell, you got a good pal there. Hang with him, buddy. Okay, thank you both for being here. Thank you for being a part of ReelAbilities and coming to Houston and sharing with us.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for watching Focus on Abilities. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching Focus on Abilities. We hope you've enjoyed this program. We've done it on location all over the city of Houston, and we've featured some incredible programs that you will have the opportunity to see, if not this year, next year. If you're interested in getting involved in the ReelAbilities program, check out ReelAbilities.org on the internet. And you can volunteer. Maybe you have a film that you want to be considered for showing. Maybe you want to get involved in another way as a sponsor or in some other way. Please take the opportunity to check it out and join us next time for more Focus on Abilities.
Perfect.
Focus on Abilities is brought to you by Tier Memorial Herman, redefining rehabilitation, removing barriers, re-enabling independence. In the ILRU Southwest ADA Center, promoting compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act.